All right, Modcast episode number 19. I'm Gordo, that's Gary. Gary, today is all about business is a contact sport, and it's not what you think it is. It's all about the next generation of leader and some key initiatives that we have around the firm. We had a big event. You were there. I was there. It was awesome. What'd you think?
I thought it was great. We're going to talk about it, but we had a couple of our leadership groups in Arizona at some focus sessions, and we're going to talk, I think, about the specifics, try and make it relatable to all of you out there and how you are running or might want to run your firms.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, energizing, idea sharing. It was excellent. Really, as I shared with you at dinner one of those nights, I said it was, kind of a proud papa moment, if you will. Just the number of people and the engagement and the leadership and the lessons and all the learnings, and it was fantastic. We're going to get into all that, but how you been?
Pretty good. Since we never know when people are watching or listening to these, I won't comment on things like current weather or
rain,
the Olympics or things like that.
Currently going on.
Yeah. So, but yeah, things are great.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So we were in Arizona and we had a great time. The weather was unbelievable. It's February, and it was just great to get down there. We had a number of things. We had a board meeting, so we had the whole board in town. We had time together as a leadership team to do some strategic thinking around the firm and some big goals that we needed to plan and think through, and how will we execute. So that was Jason Del Cole, Mike Capelli, you, me, and Danielle Kopetsky, just kind of really digging in on the big stuff and how do we get through it and what do we have to do. But why don't you, for the listener, talk a little bit about, we had two major initiatives that were in town, and those events were taking place kind of between the board meeting, the strategic meeting that we had, and then kind of the week topper were these two things. What were they?
So we had our Modern Women steering committee. So Modern Women is our internal group that is led and peopled entirely by some of our female leaders to kind of focus on issues and initiatives and ideas to promote women here at Modern Wealth.
Yep.
And to make Modern Wealth, an exciting and welcoming and attractive place for women to come build their careers. And we all know, I don't have the numbers in hand, but in financial services, particularly in wealth management, has always been a male-dominated field.
Mm-hmm.
And particularly as you get into the more senior executive ranks or the senior advisor ranks, we're quite clearly, two guys and founders of the firm, but we want to create a company where women feel like it's a place for them to come build their careers, start their careers, if they're not in the industry yet, and have the company really reflects the country, and which last time I checked, if more than half of the population were women. So that's the team is really focused on creating opportunities, highlighting, and really just sort of, mentoring, providing mentor-mentee opportunities. And so that, people younger in their career can sort of see, hey, there's a path here for me. There's someone who has done this, who I have, I can recognize myself in them, and doing a lot of great things. And it's not just focusing on women and quote unquote, women's issues. It's also focusing on client concerns that maybe from a perspective that's a little bit different from, the non-women's group. But, for example, they're sort of teeing up content around elder care issues, sort of managing having aging parents, which is a major area of focus in our society. And anyone who's sort of, our age, if we're lucky enough to still have our parents, chances are they're transitioning or have transitioned from, sort of being completely independent and living on their own to some other stage. And you've got medical questions, you've got other, estate issues, things you're dealing with, and from a completely different perspective that, the parent-child relationship kind of gets flipped. So they're leading some initiatives around that, education for both clients and for our team members internally. So that's just, one great example of how they're leading.
Well, I love how they broke it up. They broke it into 3. And by the way, Modern Women, it's every female in the firm
Right.
is invited,
Yeah.
and they nominated a steering committee, and we have people that took leadership roles within Modern Women, and they broke it into 3 kind of major buckets, right? One group is focused on opportunity within the firm and within financial services. One's really focused on community and lifting women up, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not, here's a handout, it's here's a hand up. How do we help you
Right.
advance in your career? And it's very supportive. It's awesome to watch. And then kind of what you were touching on, it was the education and resources around, financial content or lessons that they're super passionate about, that they want to see us push forward as a firm. Elder care, like you're talking about, or aging parents, college planning. There's a number of things a number of topics they've come up with that
Yeah.
they're working on. It's awesome. And they're, like you said, it's a reflection of the firm nationwide. And it's really exciting to see.
So that's one group that was meeting last week. And then the other group was our next generation leadership group, our first class, if you will, of next generation leadership members who almost a year ago began a program, kind of a course of both study and interaction and sort of leadership development. Was led by a third-party group, Select Advisors, Amy Parvanas, the principal there. She did a terrific job building a program, and we've worked with Amy in the past. Terrific job building and managing a program along with a bunch of our folks here internally. And this in-person meeting was sort of the capstone event where we had, I think, close to 20 members of this group, and I'll describe who they are in a second, but met and worked on things like how to tell your personal story and weave it into the narrative you use with other clients or peers or partners. And then they all presented sort of a little mini personal, business/career plan to their peer group. And then we had a little graduation ceremony. I got to hand out diplomas.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool, but it was really energizing. So the group
It was awesome. It was, energizing, like capital E in energy.
Capital
Like
E.
it was awesome.
All caps.
All caps.
And hashtag all caps energizing. The
It was awesome to see.
What was nice is the way it evolved. And I think in our industry, you'll always hear the term G2, G2. G2, what's G2? It's the next generation of advisors beyond the founding generation. So like, it's a big succession point, I think. Do you have a G2 in place? How's your G2?
Yeah.
This was not just G2. So it was a group that included advisors. So we had, some folks who are leading offices or taking over leadership of offices from the generation, that sort of founded the office. We had some other advisors who were earlier in their careers, but beyond advisors, we also had, not just, sort of wealth management advisors. We had some tax planning team advisors. We had retirement plan team advisors, which reflects our business, having not just wealth management, but also tax and retirement planning, and corporate retirement plans. And then we had other people who were in, operations team members,
client service, Kind of
So
all the areas of the firm.
yeah, all the areas of the
Wasn't
firm.
just advisors like you're saying, right?
So a lot of different perspectives. It wasn't just how am I going to build my book or how am I going to lead my team and all this stuff. And it was really great. I got to sit in on um, their presentations, really great insights. They were all given sort of the same prompts, but not told like, here's how you format it. So different people did it differently. And it was fun. It was really fun.
Yeah, I missed that day. I did get to sit in on the storytelling piece, and that was run by an outside party as well, and it was great.
Mm-hmm.
I thought a few of them came very prepared and gave their kind of 60-second about me pitch, if you will. It was great. And again, just it was amazing for me to sit in the room and hear, we started this firm less than 3 years ago. There's 260-ish people now part of Modern Wealth Management. And to sit in the back of the room with these 21 or 22 people, hearing them and their energy and their excitement and what we're building together and how their careers are advancing and how they're no longer just, so-and-so in this location and this 8 or 10 person firm that feels like this is kind of what my life is going to look like. Now they're on this career journey and this path. And like you said, their next generation leadership, and it could be all different functions and facets of the firm.
Yeah.
And it was just awesome to watch.
It was great.
Yeah.
And I think, one of the things we wanted to mention in this context, and we're going to share some video from the event as part of this podcast. But for those of you out there who are running a firm, some of you may be, one local office. So it's a little bit like, well, okay, I don't need to do that. I can just have everyone sit in the conference room and talk. But if you're in part of a firm that has a little bit more scale and might have multiple locations, there's some real magic in getting people together from different offices, different parts of the country, but who have are part of the same organization, and maybe have the similar roles, so they can do some real best practice sharing, or they may have completely different roles, but they can, give career perspective and become more, a peer networking group within an organization and really support one another and cheer one another on. And that's really cool to see. You can't fake that, you can just put people together and,
it was authentic.
It's authentic.
Yeah.
So, within a culture, because people always talk about culture, and they always say it 3 times like that, just like that. But, within your culture, you're going to have more than one culture, right? Like you're going to have dynamics of interaction that are going to vary. If you're the CEO or the owner, it's going to be different when you're in the room than when you're not in the room. Of course, you want people to behave when you're not in the room the way you think they should, but you also want them to be able to interact in a way that's natural to them. So it was very cool to, we were not driving either of these groups.
No.
Other than creating the space and the budget for them to happen, right? And then it's like, let it run.
Yeah.
And so that was a really cool thing to see how positive it was, and just see the results. So it's great, and it's just the beginning.
Yep.
We're going to continue
class
to do
one.
it at class
Yep.
one, and but
I
think
want to do it again, like next month. It was great, you know.
It takes
And
a
what
little
it did
time.
is, and you kind of touched on this a little bit. I heard from multiple participants, like, I feel like I have a friend. I feel like I have a network. I feel like I now have somebody I can call in another office and ask a question of, right?
Yeah.
So they're connected now. And that just kept coming through from every participant. I loved it. And again, that's both advisors and non-advisors. And we're going to show a little clip of you and Logan talking at the event. And what I love about Logan is Logan was an advisor in an office that joined us very early, and
The first one.
the first office, and he's on a career journey with us. He has stepped up in a big way. I was on multiple calls with Logan today, and it's awesome to watch Logan and how he supports the offices, how he's helping drive growth. He's holding them accountable to a scorecard and a business objective and goal that they've set for themselves. He's not setting that for them. And it's great to see Logan step out of that advisor role into an enterprise role and how he's driving the business forward. And we have lots of examples of that all around the firm. But, Logan ran the majority of this program last week. And it wasn't you, it wasn't me, it wasn't
No.
Jason Del Cole or Mike, right? It's great to see people stand up and lead and want to lean in and support the business in a meaningful way. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So should we just go to the video and let you and
let's
Logan
go to the videotape, as they used to say.
Let's go to the video.
Hey, Modcast viewers and listeners. For those of you who are watching us, you can see we have a different background. We're here in Phoenix, Arizona at the Modern Wealth G2 Leadership Conference, and I'm here with Logan DeGraeve, our head of advisory services. Logan, can you tell us a little bit about what we're doing here, what the G2 conference is all about?
Yeah, so our G2 conference here at Modern is all about the next generation of leader within our ecosystem. So we have everyone that was handpicked by their managing directors to come here as a future leader. We have exposure from advisors, we have exposure from operations, our company retirement plan team, tax. So I think the biggest thing, getting everyone together, you can see they're all having lunch right now, they had never met in person, many of them.
Right. Well, because as we're building a more national firm, as some of you are there out there as well, as of today, we have 19 offices across the country. One of the questions is, well, how do you get people to feel connected to one another? You can do some via video and Teams and calls, but there's no substitute for getting people together face to face, knee to knee, as our friend Jason Del Cole likes to say.
JDC would say, Gary, I think the coolest thing was, we just sat in the room for a few hours here where each one of them, we have 20 people within the program, went through their own personal business plan. Not only how they can make an impact in their own office, but a broader impact at Modern. And I think that was really cool to see, because there's a lot of people that maybe even like myself were in a different seat a couple years ago and now have worked for the broader company.
That's right. You're an example of someone who's moved from one role into a broader, more national role. You were an advisor in our Kansas City office, and now you work with everyone around the country. So anyway, it's great. Lots of people that we meet in the industry have next generation or G2 initiatives, and we just wanted to share a little bit about ours.
All right, Gary, I'm sorry I missed it. I'd been in Arizona for an extended period of time and wanted to get home.
Yeah,
but,
it was great.
Looked like you and Logan were having a great time.
Well, it's good. It's always, and listen, we got lots going on and we can't all be in one place. And that's part of the power of building something where, there's a lot of people carrying the water. And it was a lot of fun. And I'll share one thing I sort of shared in my private remarks to the group before we did the diploma ceremony. I'm laughing just because, someone said yesterday, from the unaccredited University of Modern Wealth, or something like that. It was funny. But they did get a, certificate of completion. But I said to them, we talk in this business, and certainly internally here, there's always going to be focus on, business growth, organic growth. We talked about a lot here. In our case, growing via, inorganic means, aka acquisition, financially growing, and people, of course, want to grow their resumes and everything, and compensation. But I said, but the one growth that we can't talk about enough is personal growth. And this program, the Next Generation Leadership Program, was all about personal growth, is all about personal growth, because it's continuation. It's an ongoing thing for everybody. And I feel really good that we as a company, and this is, tooting our own horn, but like investing in people's personal growth is really critical. And it feels good. It feels really good.
It feels great. And again, just really love the video, and I've seen a lot of the photos come out of it. And again, I was there on day one. It was just, everybody was so excited to be there, and really relationship build and idea share. And it was just fantastic. So can't wait to kick off the next class and do it again. And maybe we get these groups together every year.
And the first class set a really high bar. So
very, very high. And I hear there were a few participants who set it extremely high.
Well,
so that was pretty awesome. I'm hearing that from other participants. Anyway, All right, that's Modcast number 19, and we'd love for you to like, share, promote, ask questions. We'd love to answer your questions. Next week, we're going to be live together, Gary, and back in Arizona. It's something we call Accelerate. We'll talk all about Accelerate on the next show. We'll interview some of our advisors, and it's going to be a great time. So look forward to getting back down to Arizona, enjoying that awesome winter weather, and spending time with a lot of the folks from Modern Wealth Management.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Pack your sunblock.
Yeah, and sunglasses.
And
More importantly, I don't want you to have to go to the shop to have to buy another pair again.
Well, that happened. That happened. Yeah, that did happen.
That was a Miami move.
That was in Miami a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
a couple weeks ago, Gary had to go buy sunglasses. It's too bright.
Somehow I lost a pair.
Yeah,
but can't drive without them. So anyway, all right. I'll see you in Arizona. For you listeners, watchers, we'll see you on the next Modcast.
Yep. Have a great day.